This is a resume review of a embedded software engineering intern. So, full disclosure on this, there were a ton of different titles for this. These keywords are not exhaustive, and they may not be 100% correct, so I'm going to largely judge this more on formatting than in particular keywords, because I couldn't find these. There was like a bunch of other jobs, and I didn't know if they were the same, because I've not done an embedded software engineer before. I think I've done one before, but that's not enough to remember that, because that was like 3 years ago. So this person has a 1 to 75 ratio, which is they have, for every 75 applications, they've got one interview, which is not great, but as an intern, it's not great, but that's like a C- at best, right? So that's still kind of passing. They said it's not going good at all, and yeah, internship jobs are very difficult to get. So what we're going to loosely be looking for is embedded systems, C and C++, Python, and then maybe some of these like OS daemon experience, like this sounds like a wizard, or Cortex-M. I swear I'm playing like a video game with those names. So maybe some of those along with the degree, and we want to know that you can work well with others, because remember, as an intern, these soft skills are very important. You have to show that you're not going to get criticism of you like, hey Lee, your coding or your whatever Python is slightly wrong, and you're not going to just shriek and run out of the room. So, because that can happen. So let's review this resume, but first please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and if you need more help, join my live stream on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 11 a.m. PST to about 2 p.m. PST. That's where I give more help, like interview tips and everything else that I can't really format into a video. So now, with extra ado, let's go to the embedded software engineering intern. So formatting wise, this is not great. My formatting is down below. That is what I want to see. I want to see that formatting, which, can I pull this up without, my keyboard is too loud, so I'm not going to do it. I'll have it up by the next resume. But yeah, so essentially this should not be bolded. This should not be bolded. And truthfully, I don't even know if this is really necessary. I'm kind of against skill sections personally, because a skill doesn't count if it's not in a bullet point that shows you how to use it. And if it's already in a bullet point that's easy to read, then why do you even need the skills section? So, I'm not a huge fan of that. This, I think this can maybe be 2 lines max. Yeah, I want 2 lines max. I don't know how important the BASC in my program grade is, but maybe the recruiters who are recruiting for these one would know. Work experience, again, this should not be bolded. None of this should be bolded. Stop with all the bolding. It makes it way worse. Contributed to the development of an F4 vision framework using C, C++. Those are keywords I did see in multiple ones. So here's sort of the problem is I need to know what this is, right? The recruiter who is recruiting for this may not know what the hell that is. Now, it's good that they say platform software developer, but it's possible maybe an embedded software engineer intern is the same as a platform software engineer intern. The recruiter may not know that. I have not recruited for this in a very long time, so I don't know. You're going to have to tell us. And what you can do here, which is, I need to know what this is. Why is this important? Why was this framework good? But the keywords do seem to be correct, at least those. So develop Bash scripts to automate the functionality of CI/CD pipeline, improving the development workflow. Okay, I guess that's okay. Created unit tests in C++, code average, code quality. Again, I do want to see how you worked well with others as well. Working under the supervision of Professor He Who Must Not Be Named. All right, so Voldemort, got it. Let's see, you must not be named to the XYZ lab. That's okay, but I want to know a little bit more about what you did here, right? Like, I get that you worked under the supervision, but what did you do? Did you embed systems? I don't know. Did you work on your ARM Cortex-M OS daemon experience? Who knows? But you didn't tell me. Collaborate in Autoface with Carla for a Jeep Cherokee test run. Create Docker-sized simulation. That one might be okay. Again, I'm not going to be too harsh on the keywords this one because I'm not sure these are the correct keywords. Researching technique for overtaking an alternate planning trajectory on Agile. Agile is a good one. Honestly, I think if your formatting was better, you'd probably bring this down to a 1 in 60, 1 in 50. I wish I could give you more advice on specifically the keywords, but overall, this does not seem like a terrible resume. It's just the formatting is holding it back, and you're not really telling me why you did some things. and a little bit how you've done some things. But it's not like every bullet point is bad. There's a couple of good ones. In fact, I know you said it's rough out there or it's not going well. It is rough out there, but this is actually how I know it's going kind of well, is you got 1 in 75. And this, because you've wrote this the way you did, is why you're getting 1 in 75. You fix the formatting, maybe clean up some of the bullet points. Honestly, probably reduce a little bit of the keywords, because there's probably too many for what you're looking for. And you should actually be getting like a 1 in 40, 1 in 50 at best. I would say maybe 1 in 40 is good. And that's what you kind of want to shoot for. Because again, internships are highly competitive. So that's what I would recommend you do. It's just a little busy. And let's go to the next resume. This is a resume review of a accountant. So this is an entry-level accountant position. They were a stay-at-home parent re-entering the workforce after graduating with an accounting degree last fall. They have a little bit of experience on managing their husband's construction company, but they are just starting their job search, so I do not know their interview ratio. So, first off, I'm glad you used this format. It is almost correct. I want to be clear. There's not a couple of things. You do not need this. Every single resume says this, and it is largely unimportant. Detail-oriented and motivated. Every single one starts like that. You don't need an objective. Objectives are only if there's something critically wrong with your resume. And we are talking like you are, in fact, this is an actual case I've seen, is this person had a master's in wind turbine farming, and they applied to a different position that was like a machinist, which is essentially just like on a conveyor line fixing machines, and the manager would not see the resume because, well, they have a wind turbine. Now, if that person said, despite a degree in wind turbine, I'm looking to transition into machining, that would have been acceptable. So you do not need an objective. This can be safely deleted. This should be one line. And this, I don't think is needed. I don't know what a VITA certificate is. And I looked it up on LinkedIn, and it doesn't look like any of them have it. So unless I really missed something, unless this is a very state-specific thing, I don't think you need a VITA certificate. In addition, if you are applying in the United States and you are a U.S. citizen or green card holder, put it here and then put in city and state. So that's a couple of formatting issues. Again, it should look like this. You don't need a skills section because a skill without a bullet point explaining it is irrelevant, with the exception of high-level managers. They get a pass on that. So let's go to the actual skills. What we're going to be looking for is the fact that you graduated. You have that. Good. Accounting software applications. What are they? I don't know. They just said accounting software applications. We need Microsoft Excel, Word, and QuickBooks. Those are pretty important. Not everything needs QuickBooks, but it was in a large amount of job descriptions. Gap, ERP, those were all in a bunch of job descriptions. And if you have a CPA, it's not mandatory, but it is a giant plus. If you have a CPA, that's really, really good. And then multitask, prioritize, and work accurately and independently while meeting deadlines, because almost every job has that as a qualification, which I'm not a huge fan of in the first place, but it is something you need to do on your resume. So let's see if you have the rest of that. You have the education, which is good. Again, I think you can delete this and delete this and then move the education to 2 lines. Household manager. Okay, so it's okay to change your job title, but this is giving this more pizzazz than I think it should be. I think you should just be honest with this, right? Like, you actually can use these skills as an entry-level accountant, right? You could say stay-at-home mom, and then you can actually put manage household budget using Excel. But household manager sounds a little bit off, right? You don't want to overhype what you do, because it's going to look kind of weird. So, yeah, I would not put household manager. You can just put stay-at-home mom, and then you can put the fact that you actually use this to keep track of that, right? I want to see that used Excel and QuickBooks to keep track of our and my husband's business accounts, that kind of thing. So, took the lead in a complex custody case. Wait, why was... I'm confused where this... So... Organize, schedule, and appointment events. This is fine, but you need to show how you did this, right? The thing with the keyword is what, how, why. It needs the what, which is the keyword, the how you did it, and the why you did it. Otherwise, it's a bad bullet point. And the problem with these two is you don't really tell me the how or the why. Develop strong interpersonal skills. Again, no, you need to tell me how you did that, and this is not what it is. Leveraging problem, no. So, honestly, what you even can do, right? You can just do stay-at-home mom 2005 to current, and then what you should have is, child is currently old enough to stay at home, looking to re-enter the workforce full-time. And then here, what you can do is just maybe 2 bullet points quick about how you used Gap, ERP, or QuickBooks, or Microsoft Excel. The rest of this isn't as necessary. So these are the things I'm going to be looking for, and I don't really see them. You've said them, but you haven't shown me how you use them. That's why skills sections don't count, is you need to show how you use them. Which I can see for the rest of formatting, like I said, not a huge deal. It's primarily an issue of bullet points. I need more. And as a stay-at-home mom, this is where the objective is, right? You just say, moving to full-time employment as my child is now old enough to be by themselves, or whatever it is, right? That's 2005, so they are now, oh my God, I'm old. Oh, that one hurt. Doing that age calculation did not feel good for me. So yeah, just say moving into full-time employment from being a stay-at-home mom, so that they know specifically that you are doing that. So yeah, that's kind of my issue, is the bullet points are very bad. The bullet points are bad, and it looks like you're trying to hype up more than you did, which is not how you do it, right? You need to show how you used it, because it's okay to be a stay-at-home parent. There actually are transferable skills. It's just you don't want to say household manager and give it a fancy title, because they're going to get very confused. So overall, this resume would probably not pass, but you're mainly because your bullet points are not there. But yeah, like support a smooth operation. Again, you need to tell me how. It's what, how, why. And you told me some of them what. You told me a little bit why. But I need what, how, why in every single one, with the exception of a summary sentence in every bullet point. Under each job, under every bullet point. So let's move to the next resume. This is a resume review of a back-end software engineer. What kind of back-end software engineer, you ask? I have no idea. They didn't tell me. If you specify back-end, you need to tell me your language stack, because that is how they judge you in recruiting. It's not really judging, but that's what they do. So a Java developer is going to have different than a Python, is going to have different than a C++, is going to have different than a whatever else. So I don't know what the keywords are going to be, except for SQL, Cloud, and API, because that is sort of standard. But there are probably about 20 other keywords that you're going to be missing by not picking a stack. So let us begin. This can probably be sit down into 2 lines. This formatting is also not great. It is too fancy. You want a boring resume. Boring resumes are best. Data migration intern. Also, this person did not tell me their ratio either, so I have no earthly idea how effective this resume is, which I really need people to tell me what their ratio is if they have it, because like sometimes in different markets and very specific things, you can do things differently and have success, and I need to know that. Because the advice I give is generalized advice across multiple markets, but it's not generalized. It can't be for every market. So in this case, I'm assuming it's not great, but whatever. I don't know for sure, and it's very good to have that data. I need data. Recruiting is very data driven. So again, this should not be bolded. Data integrity. I don't see anything for back end. Nothing here. Utilize Google Flash, blah, 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 blah. Don't care. Okay, it's here. Stop putting your keywords here. If a keyword is not in a bullet point and it does not tell me the how, the what, the why, or it's not in the summary bullet point, it doesn't count. This doesn't count. I need to know how you do this. And it looks like this is maybe a Python dev, in which case, let me get my Python stuff. So, if this is a Python software backend engineer, what we are going to be looking for is this going to parse? Yes, this. All right, we're going to be looking for Python, SQL, Docker, Kubernetes, Django, Cloud, RESTful API, Agile, and a bonus for full stack. I don't see that anywhere here, and MongoDB can be one. I'm going to count MongoDB. Oh, what? You put it here? Doesn't count. Doesn't count. Does not count. Needs to be here. You need to tell me how you do that. SQL. Okay, so this entire thing, the only thing I found was... Oh, wait, no, here it is. All the way down here to get to Python. You need these keywords, and you need them here. That is how it works. I know that's not how you learn it in school, but that is how recruiting teams do it. That is how managers do it. Once you get into the corporate world, they want you to pick a stack, and then I need to see this stuff. So this resume, gosh, probably won't make it a lot, but I will say you do at least have them here. Oh, no, except you said demonstrated ability to use. Why? No, just say used. You don't need to say I demonstrated the ability to perform locomotion to pick up a pencil. You just say picked up a pencil and used it to do X. So the fact that you actually have some of the keywords here means you'll probably have a better success than like 1 in 500, but I assume this is like a 75 to 100 application at best. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe in the area they're doing this is like a 1 to 20, but this is probably not going to be good because you don't really have it. And when you do have it, it's written weird. Like pioneered a leaderboard? What do you mean pioneered? Stop trying to make your resume fancy. All right. I know people say you need to brag. You need to show off. That's not what you need. You need to write it like a government form. You show off in the interview. The interview is where you say, I locomoted to the pencil to pick it up to pioneer whatever. That's where you do that stuff. The interview, you stand out. Any resume that stands out during the resume process is going to get rejected like 90 times out of 100. So, or 99 times out of 100. So, I'm not a fan of this resume. The formatting's off a little bit. Again, the formatting actually is the least problematic. This is still legible. It can be better, but the bigger issue is the bullet points are not great, except for very bottom, and then you formatted them really weird. So yeah, let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a director of portfolio management, which I was told from my chat that this is the same essentially as portfolio manager. So this person wants to thank me. Well, I appreciate it. No worries. To review the resume and provide feedback. They have a 1 to 75 ratio. They've been on the job search since spring 2024 before graduation with little success. My last interview was for this role, but, and then everything cuts out. So I don't know what else you said after but it didn't parse. I can see nothing. So what we're going to be looking for as a portfolio manager or director of portfolio management is a lot, but not as much as you would think. So we're looking for Excel, Word, Outlook, CAM, CAPS, CPM. We want to see expenditure controls, maximizing income, collections, budgeting, portfolio management, product curation or category, cross-functional with sourcing, sales, and marketing teams, and leadership, along with what you've done in leadership and how you've managed multiple projects. So leading teams, interviewing, that kind of thing. So first off, this formatting is a nightmare. Don't have this much formatting, all right? I want this. I want this. This is what I want. This is peak formatting, all right? This should not all be bolded. There's so much here that it is actually hard for me to read it. And that is probably part of the reason you're having a 1 to 75. So, strategic, intention, transformation, formula. There's so much here, and not much of it I actually give a crap about. I'm sorry. So I think this could probably be deleted. The education could be moved to 3 lines max, and you have a... I don't know if you really need the BA if you have the MA, but you could keep it to 3 lines. So this already would shrink it up a lot. And this right here should not be bolded. This should be bolded. I don't actually even know if the MBA or MPA is important to put up there. Truthfully, that doesn't necessarily seem like something they really care a ton about. They care that you had your degree, but I don't know, maybe that's just my lack of knowledge in this direct industry. So let's go to the actual keywords. Monetary authority with budget and staff, fixing financial employment system, accurate election in place, economic growth rate. I don't see anything here. You have overdone it. Remember, the first person to see your resume is a recruiter with 75 other requisitions who they may or may not know about. So this doesn't work. I don't like this as a summary. But it is okay. Also, this shouldn't be bolded. Nothing here should be bolded. Stop bolding everything, please. Please stop bolding everything. All right. Portfolio head reporting to the managing order product portfolios and led enterprise office within the leadership. This is okay. I want a little bit more, but this is not a bad summary. Let's see. But again, I'm not seeing product curations, expenditure control, maximizing income. I'm not seeing how you did this stuff, right? Improved price traceable with new KPI customer. Yeah, again, this is meaningless. You wrote this for the wrong audience, right? Like, I don't know if I need to go further because I know why this isn't working. Is you wrote this for a highly technical manager, but the first person is not going to be the manager. It's also possible that highly technical manager still may not know what you're talking about because the slang can change. Sometimes when you've been in a company for a while, the terminology of words changes, the essential slang. What used to mean A now means B. And I have seen very good managers who people love miss things like that because the terminology has changed. This is what I want. I didn't see a single one of these. I didn't see Excel. I didn't see Word. I didn't see Outlook. I don't think I saw expenditure control. I didn't see maximizing income. I might have actually seen that one. That might be the only one. I didn't see cross-functional. I didn't see how you led teams. I just said that you led teams. I didn't see how you managed multiple projects and what the size was. I didn't see product curation or collections or budgeting. Those are what they're going to be looking for. That was on the job description. If it's not on the job description, it largely doesn't matter, all right? You need to look for a bunch of jobs that you match and then write down their common keywords, which is how you get this stuff, and then make your entire resume based on it and use that to apply to mass amount of jobs. This, you are acting like I know what you're doing. You're acting like you're in a meeting trying to showcase how cool you are. And unfortunately, that is not how you get a job. You can say this stuff in the interview, but it's not going to work for the resume. And I don't need to go past it. So, yeah, it's not going to fly because I don't see this stuff. Do I even see Excel? You know how many of them had Excel? So many. Yeah, there's no Excel. Oh, there it is at the very bottom, which doesn't matter. Yeah, it needs to be in a bullet point. So, this is how I want it, all right? Remember, these are your keys to getting a job. If you don't have this, you ain't getting through. That's unfortunately the case. Now, you may find slightly different keys, and that's okay, but I can tell based on this, you didn't find the keywords in the first place. So please, for everybody, find the keywords for your jobs. Find 10 to 15 jobs, all right? This will be the part where it takes some time. Take about 15, 35, 45 minutes, take a bunch of jobs, see which are the common terminologies, the ones that keep getting, that you keep seeing, those are important. But this stuff isn't important. Most of this isn't. I don't know if I saw a single EPMO suit or PM or CBLMS. I saw CAM caps and CPEM, but I haven't seen this. So, yeah, that's unfortunately cases. I don't think you have the right keywords for this. Or even unless I saw the entirely different keywords, but based on your ratio, I think you're missing the keywords, and this is hard to read. So simplify the formatting, find the keywords, put it in with those keywords. Let's move to the next resume. This is a resume review of a solutions architect. So the problem with solutions architect positions that I found is they all kind of wanted a little bit of different stuff. The main keywords I found were cloud, architecture, gather technical business requirements into concrete solutions, and that was kind of it for most of them. So there's going to be a bunch of different keywords. This person said they were overemployed for a little bit, and what did they say? They do not advertise this, but also do not hide it. Is it hurting them? Potentially. Depends on when you did it, though, because it doesn't seem... I can't see it, at least from here. February 2002. Yeah, I mean, I don't even see where it is. Because August to current, then this is to August, and this is from September to Feb. So I don't actually see it. The resume formatting is great. Let's see. Do we want your degree? If you have a degree, you should still put it up here. But these are good. And you have a ratio of 1 to 50, which is not bad. It's not great, again, but not bad. For an actual architect, it's like a C-. So let's see what we can do to sort of improve this. But I do like the formatting already. I do wish I had a little bit of a like if you're bachelor's kind of thing. So, cloud architect. And also, this is why this formatting is great, is look how easy to read this is. This is so easy to read, is that even though there's a lot of stuff, I can see it. So, so first off, everything should be past tense here. I know that sounds weird. Even if you're still with the company, past tense is always the best. I worked closely with various cross-functional development teams to empower developers. My word recall is bad today. To empower developers to publish resilient, scalable, secure, and cost-efficient products. So I would like a little bit more here, right? I would say just worked with a cross-functional development team to publish scalable, maybe architecture or something, if that works, for the company's private and public cloud, and then put if it's AWS or Azure, which I assume it's Azure environments. Azure BD, Azure train developers on consumption patterns with implemented support. I'm assuming a lot of these is probably not, you don't need all of these. Power BI is okay, but again, I'm not guaranteeing that these keywords are the right ones because it's going to really depend, but all I need to see is cloud, which I do see in spades, but I want to see architecture, right? Architecture is kind of big. How often do we have architecture? I don't see architecture in here at all. That's actually not good. You need architecture. And then I need to see how you multitask, which maybe you have FinTech, FinOps, API, Azure Opportunities. That's okay. Designed. And see, here's the problem with this one, right? Saving $55K in operating expenses, depending on the company, can be very impressive or very unimpressive. And I don't know which. And you didn't tell me. Because what I am missing here, I think you have a lot of the good keywords, but I am missing architected. And I would like something within the first three that says how many things you worked on, right? Like I was working on concurrently 5 different projects for 7 different things, which were each had a budget of X and Y, that kind of thing. I want to know that you can multitask, and I am missing something about you basically bringing this to like stakeholders and technical people, the non-technical people. But Python is shell, enter and develop Python, yeah. So again, this is not bad, and I think the fact that you're getting a 1 to 50 is why, but I want to make sure you can get even better. So, and I would say if you have to bring up the fact that you're overemployed, try not to. Managers, some managers don't care, but the ones that do care, it could be a yellow flag to them. But overall, okay resume. Formatting's fine. I just need a little bit more in the bullet points, and ironically, a teeny bit less of some stuff. So I didn't see Power BI or Snowflake or SysSense, but I did see maybe .NET, and I'd like to see the word architecture, how you multitask, maybe ETL, and then how, like data warehousing, and how you gather technical and business requirements and do concrete solutions. Because again, you are going to be like the subject matter expert. Someone's going to be like, "Hey, man, I don't know what this does," and you can't just say, "You got to floop the blah 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 blah." They're going to go, "Oh." You want to make sure you say, "Yeah, what you got to do is X, Y, which will lead to Z." So, again, not bad. I can see this getting interviews, and in fact, it's 1 to 50. It does. And that's it for these resume review video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me out. And join me Monday, Wednesday, Friday on my live stream. If you need more help, I go over stuff like, interview tips and that kind of stuff. It's just hard to condense that to the YouTube videos. And I also do tell you how to find the keywords there. So I will see you all next video.